Welcome back to another edition of Walk-On Wednesdays here in Raiderland. If it's Wednesdays at Walk-Ons, it's college night. You guys know what to do. You ladies know what to do. Come on out here, great meal, have some great beverages as well at Walk-Ons every Wednesday night. All right, I'm Ryan Hyatt, but nobody cares. That's David Collier. Is your mic going to work today? Can we get some scores out of you?
Yeah, I know. Wow, that was a situation.
You just love to be in front of 50,000 people and the mic won't work.
Well, the saving grace is when the team everybody hates is losing. Thankfully, Oklahoma did me a favor.
And it's the only one you got to announce at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Biggest cheer of the day up until about halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Cram from Parts Unknown. We're going to recap a little bit of what went on Texas Tech and Oklahoma State, look ahead to Baylor, and just kind of wander around here at Walk-Ons. I mean, we'll sit, but you guys get the idea.
Walk around.
All right, the euphoria now over. You got to get ready for this week. I do want to clean up a little bit from Oklahoma State and get you guys' thoughts on maybe a hidden aspect of the game that hadn't been talked about. Duffy's performance overshadowed a lot. Obviously, what Jordan Brooks did. Did we miss anything? Is there somebody we ought to be talking about? What do you guys think?
You know, I think maybe just because of the day that Duffy had, we should be talking about Tech's offensive line doing their job and really giving him something to work with. I think, you know, those first few drives, it felt like Duffy was trying to feel his way through the offense, and he was trying to probably stay in the pocket, go through his reads, and not do too much. But then the offensive line allowed him to move around without really feeling that much pressure for the most part.
And without a Jack Anderson.
Yeah, that's right. So I thought they did their job.
And along the line of Duffy, the subtle thing with him was the fact that we saw him running the football and he didn't get greedy.
That's
like
right.
Against Oklahoma, when he fumbled the football, he tried to get some extra yards. He looked kind of like, for lack of a better comparison, Kyler Murray last year. Anytime anybody got near Kyler Murray, he was down on the ground immediately. Doesn't want to get hit. Yep. And I thought that was great on his part. I guess on the other side in the trenches, maybe like a Tony Bradford. I know his stats didn't jump out on the page, but I mean,
it's hard when Jordan Brooks is hogging up all the dang tackles.
Exactly. Yeah. He still gets a sack. I think he forced the fumble as well. I mean, and he's a freshman, and you'd like to see a freshman starting on the defensive line, especially if they're going to be productive early like this.
Yeah. All right. Let's look ahead to Baylor now, and Tech's got to avoid eating the cheese. Now you can get a great bacon cheeseburger here at Walk-Ons, but this week Tech cannot have the cheese. You just have the bacon. I don't know how to make that analogy work any better.
Yeah.
Baylor may be the third best team in the league right now.
We said that last week.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is, and I especially think if, you know, like they said yesterday, Rule said that Charlie Brewer will be cleared to play.
Yeah.
So with that, I mean, when you look at Baylor, I think what's impressive about them is they're not really that flashy, like in Oklahoma or in Oklahoma State or in Texas even, but they just do things very consistently.
Yeah.
And they're balanced. They run almost as much as they pass. They rely a little bit heavier on the pass to set up longer running plays. But I thought, you know, what was really impressive about them against Kansas State on Saturday is that it was 3-3 in the second quarter. They had a drive with about 2.5 minutes for 98 yards right before the half. And I mean, within 3 plays, they went 33 yards, 27 yards, 29 yards. 2 passes, 1 run. So they covered 89 yards in 3 plays. So even if you back them up that deep, and they even had a 1-yard half the distance false start penalty right off the bat. So really they went 99 yards. Yeah, that's right. So even if you back them up, they don't get worried. They just sit there and go through their normal plays, and they can bust out long plays. They're not going to really dink and dunk. They're going to get some longer plays out of it.
What do you think about the job Matt Rule is doing at Baylor? I think Matt Wells looks at that and maybe sees a blueprint.
Yeah, Matt Wells kind of talked about that. It's kind of a Big Ten type style that he's doing. It's almost the polar opposite of what was there before,
right?
But still the consistency. And I don't want to say boring, but we've talked about this. It's kind of
efficient.
It's efficient, a Kansas State type of deal where they're not going to be flashy. They can beat you on the big play.
You're right.
But that's not their formula, and that's not the way they're going to do it. And more importantly to me is they're going to protect the football, which is something that might be a problem this weekend.
Yeah, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions for Brewers.
Only 3 turnovers all year long.
That's right.
This Baylor defense has been impressive. Are they maybe even better than Oklahoma's defense? Ooh. Fair or unfair? There's a talent gap maybe there, but they've been playing well.
Well, they've given up 3 less points than OU has in conference play so far. The fact that you've only given up, I don't care who it is against, 33 points in conference play. I mean, against Iowa State's a decent team. They only gave up, I think, 21 against them and then 12 this past week. So, you know, I think defensively, they're just as sound as they are on the offensive side of the things. And they can force turnovers if they need them.
And that's the consistency thing again. I mean, Matt Wells talked about this as well. 8 seniors, I believe, starting on this defense. I mean, you got that. I mean, you know what to expect from them. You mentioned 21 points against Iowa State. They haven't given up more than 21 all year long.
All year long, that's right.
All right, what about Texas Tech this week and some things you got to see happen in order to have a chance to spring another upset back-to-back in the Big 12 against two ranked teams? I don't remember the last time Tech beat consecutive weeks ranked teams, but I'll start it off and say I'd like to see a little more TD red zone production. This is an offense that they were gifted a couple of things. They didn't cash in touchdowns for and got field goals instead, which is fine, but you kind of got away with it because of those 5 turnovers. I don't think Baylor's going to give you 5. You got to score more, I think, if you're Tech with the touchdowns red zone.
Yeah, and you just mentioned it. I think Baylor has only trailed once the whole season, if I remember right, in any quarter. So
that's good.
If you jump up on top, that's your advantage right now. So I mean, you took it away from me. I was going to say the turnovers, because I think that was what was working for Tech on Saturday. They literally had to have everything fall in the right order. And even when they didn't cash in red zone turnovers for points off turnovers, they still got something out of it. I think with Baylor, because of how good they are offensively, you're going to have a tough time making them force turnovers and making mistakes because they just don't do that a lot. So when you get in the red zone, you're going to have to score a touchdown, and maybe you go for it on 4th and 2, 4th and 3 a couple of times to see if you can get something out.
Yeah, not a fake field goal. How about you just line up and go for it?
Just line up and go
We're
for
not
it.
really good at the fake stuff right now.
No, I'm going to go back to the offensive line. I mean, yeah, they passed the test against Oklahoma State, but again, this front seven's a little bit better, I think.
Yeah.
Everybody would agree with Baylor. So you're not going to be able to probably run the ball as well. You might not be able to protect Jet as well. It's a lot different when you're winning 20-0 and your offense starts, doing their thing, as opposed to, like we said, not being gifted some stuff, which I don't think we're going to see with Baylor.
All right, and I hope these aren't your actual final thoughts, but maybe just some summation thoughts for today on either this matchup, Big 12, anything else. What do you got? What do you want to finish up with?
I think this is going to have a different feel to it because it's the first time Tech and Baylor have played a true road game against each other in 10 years. So to walk into Waco, if this team, what is it? I think it's a -9. It started at a -10.5 for Baylor. So it's moved. I think some people are liking Tech in this game, I think, right now on the road. If you can get something going. I'm not trying to fire up the Jet Duffy Heisman campaign right now, but I think he does give you the best possible chance to win. And as long as he can keep from turning over the ball and getting too greedy and throwing into triple coverage downfield, you're going to have a chance to win this game. But I like what Collier said. Up front, that is going to be the biggest battle to watch, is how well Tech can control the line of scrimmage.
What else you got for us this week?
Same thing. I mean, it'd be interesting if they can continue to get the ball down, throw the ball down the field a little bit more, which is something they were successful doing. I don't know if it's going to be as easy, but protect the football with Jet too. I mean, if 3 touchdowns and 0 turnovers is pretty good as well, and maybe the run game helps you out a little bit.
All right, a few other big games going on around the conference. At the risk of getting a fine from the Big 12 Conference, there you go. There's my prediction for Dallas this week. And want to thank the great folks at Walk-Ons for having us out every Wednesday. Remember, Wednesday night, college night here at Walk-Ons. And boys, I'm still waiting on this shrimp eating contest.
It's coming.
Get this thing done. It's going to be ugly. Look away. Don't watch. We'll see you next week in Raiderland.